life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did that.
To apologize. It's too
When I did it, I was fucked up.
late to apologize.
I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that.
It's the one and only queen of receipts, is dropping gems in these YouTube streets. The lawyer Royce, nowhere to go. Tune in for the infamous morning show, giving the news that you need to know. So don't you dare miss the wake-up call. Then in the evening, I got all for y'all. Get your dose of daily vitamins. You know the queen makes it make sense. So true.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get into it. Everyone hit that like button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, that's the way you can support the channel for free. Thank you in advance for your cooperation and participation. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, listen, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A. Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, now let's see who's in here. All right, We the People is in the house. Nessa G, Crystal, 504 Nola, Shamika, Simply Kai, One Muscle Power. Shout out to you, beloved. Pensy Lola, Buckhorse DC, Battle Axe is here. All right, let's get into it. Easy 7700, Latasha, Sheila, Leonard is here. Rhythm is here. Rhythm and Rhyme. Okay. All right, so hey, stop that plane. I want to get off. Miss Sheila's in the house. Charlotte. Darius and Janice are here. All right, Charlotte, Locked Queen Candy J is in the house. Andrea. Okay, so that all been said. Shout out to I see you, most hated bronze flat power God. Okay, so shout out to everyone in chat, everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Terry Beloved. And Mox is in the house. Shout out to my moderators also putting in work. So let's get this show popping. Everyone hit that like button. I see you, Amuthala. Now, for some of you who have, if you know that I have your emails, I try to send you guys emails with a link because I know sometimes ScrewTube doesn't send out the notifications. I don't get to send out to everybody, but for some of you, check your emails because I've been sending them to you. Okay? So with that all being said, let's get into it because, honey, they're saying that Kanye pulled a whole Russell Simmons. Okay, but before we get into that, let's talk about MIA because MIA is talking greasy about Beyonce. Okay, I don't know what her problem is with her and JayZ. Well, I have an idea. Because of things she said in the past. JayZ helping her father of her child, keep the child away from her and all sorts of things. So I guess she's still upset about that, and I can't say that I blame her. All right. Thank you for your super sticker and your contribution to the channel. Peace and love and blessings, Elle. I appreciate you. Okay. So that all being said, hold on. It looks like somebody else said something. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Trying to see something here. Okay. It's showing up in two different colors. On my phone, it's yellow. On here, it's green. Okay. So now with that all being said, let's talk about it. Because MIA criticizes Beyonce's $200 million Malibu mansion purchase. Now, while she's worried about what Beyonce's buying, I have several questions. MIA is going off on Beyonce for purchasing a Malibu mansion, which at the time was the most expensive home in California's history. She's calling out Beyonce over her lavish home that she and JayZ purchased in 2023. Now, the former Roc Nation artist referenced the superstar singer during a recent rant on Instagram Live. She says, I'm also in town where the most expensive house in this town is owned by a Black woman, which is Beyonce. Now, the power couple reportedly made history with their record-breaking purchase of the property, which was the most expensive home ever sold in California at the time. Now, the Tadano Ando designed minimalist Malibu mansion was previously owned by art collectors William Bell Jr. and Maria Bell. MIA continued and explained that she believes why she believes Beyonce was able to purchase the home. She says, because she capitalized on this level of ignorance without people like me clearing ish up. So this is also why I'm clearing this up. Now, here's the thing. I don't really like MIA. She said some greasy things about Black people, in my opinion, specifically when she was talking about Black Lives Matter. She seems to think that we shouldn't be focusing on Black lives, that we should be focusing on all lives. It's just ridiculous to me when people say that because nobody's saying nobody else's life is important. How many times do we have to say it? Everybody's life is important, but Black lives are the ones that go ignored. Okay, but let me continue. So anyway, she says money and everything and accumulation and everybody's spirit has been feeding into this machine, and the machine has been paying out. Hence, you can have someone like Beyonce have a $200 million home. To me, it sounds like she's hating. It just sounds like she's hating. Please pay attention. Okay? It sounds like she's hating as far as I'm concerned. Because like I said, again, why is she concerned about what someone else purchased? Hold on, because I'm going to go to the video. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. Let me just go to her video of her talking. Okay, here we go.
Specifically in California, which is the fourth richest economy in the world, next to countries. I'm also in a town where the most expensive house in this town is owned by a Black woman, which is Beyonce. So let's not ignore all of that. So let's get to it. She capitalized. The reason why she has the most expensive house in this time in this town is because she capitalized on this level of ignorance without people like me clearing shit up. So this is also why I'm clearing this up. Okay. You look rough, sis. Yeah, because I just woke up. And to me, this is more important, and it's an opportunity to address this. Money and everything and accumulation, and everybody's spirit has been feeding into this machine. And the machine has been paying out. Hence, you can have someone like Beyonce have a $200 million house because of the system. And it's been building. Everyone's spirit's been going into it. Everyone's like, yeah, this is what it is. And then that, if you're manifesting brokenness, you know, that itself had to go through some broken tunnel. It's manifested the ugliness. So a lot of people say, why is there loads of ugliness on this earth? Why is there so much turmoil? Because you have to think about how many people have been going through not getting this right, you know? And so, like, there's a lot of fucking broken tunnels where people are feeding information through it every day. I'm specifically in California, which is the fourth richest economy in the world.
Okay, as you can see, she's just rambling on and on. Like I said, it sounds like she's hating to me. Okay, and I really don't care too much for her. And some people think she's black, but she's actually Sri Lankan. That's why she has a problem with Black Lives Matter, focusing on Black lives. Now, with that all being said, let's continue and let's talk about Kanye West. First of all, did you guys know that Kanye West's mansion is still standing? Kanye West's gutted and abandoned $57 million mansion has survived the California wildfires. Now, a Tadayo Ando designed masterpiece that West left gutted and abandoned has miraculously survived the devastating California wildfires, according to its new owner. Now, the news was first reported by Realtor.com. They say West purchased the beachfront property, a once stunning architectural marvel, in 2021 for an eye-popping $57.25 million. Now, the rapper quickly stripped the home down to its concrete frame in an alleged attempt. This all sounds crazy. Okay, in an alleged attempt to convert it into a futuristic bomb shelter. Now, that just sounds crazy to me, but hey, what do I know? I don't have Kanye's money. But the reason it's still standing is simply because it's made out of concrete. Okay? So the drastic renovation was never completed, leaving the property exposed and sparking backlash from the architecture lovers worldwide. After failing to follow through on the project, West tried to offload the dilapidated estate for $53 million in January of 2024. Honey, who wants it now? Even with the help of celebrity realtor Jason Oppenheim, the shell of a home struggled to attract buyers. The price eventually plummeted to $39 million before developer Steve Belmont of Bellwood Investments scooped it up for just $21 million. So he literally lost over $30 million, okay, on this property because he wanted to gut it and then didn't even finish. So Belmont Road now reports the property has survived the massive wildfires that have scorched more than 40,000 acres across Los Angeles. They say, I'm relieved to report that as of now, all of our properties in West Hollywood and Malibu have remained untouched by the fires. And this is what Belmont announced in a video posted to Bellwood Investments on their Instagram accounts. Now, the Palisades fire, which erupted on January the 7th, has already destroyed dozens of homes, okay, including an $8.4 million beachfront property owned by Paris Hilton. Despite widespread destruction, Belmont confirmed that renovation crews on West's former mansion are safe and on standby, ready to resume work once conditions improve. They said, we're committed to ensuring the safety of our team and the integrity of our projects during this challenging time. Our hearts go out to all of the victims of the fires, and we stand in solidarity with the affected communities. I'm going to show you some of this, show you some of the pictures of this mansion. Greta said Kanye does not make the best choices. Clearly, beloved, okay? He absolutely does not. Okay, you all see that? That's the back of it, I guess. Stripped it down to its concrete core. Anyway, with that all being said, okay, so now let's talk about Kanye fleeing the United States, because that's what they're clearly saying. They say insiders reveal why terrified Kanye West is partying with wife Bianca Sensory abroad and hasn't seen his kids in months. Kanye West, his ex Kim Kardashian, and her 4 children fled her Calabasas home last week as the wildfire flames liquored at her doorstep. Perhaps if Kim Kardashian needed somewhere to stay, she could have taken shelter at Kanye West's sprawling new $35 million mega mansion in nearby Beverly Hills. Now, this is a mansion that he just bought in October. Okay, so they're now saying that he fled and abandoned that mansion as well. Okay, so there's plenty of room. The $20,000 square feet pad boasts 11 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 2 swimming pools, and a spa. But it's unlikely that Daddy would have been at home. After all, the eccentric 47-year-old rapper, producer, and entrepreneur has hardly set foot in the U.S. in the past 8 months. He has kept his distance, even as Kardashian has accused him of being an absent father to their children, North, age 11, Saint, 9, and Chicago, 6, and Psalm, 5. And his long absence has prompted West fans and critics alike to question just what is keeping him away. Kanye has some beautiful children, can't deny that. But now sources exclusively tell the Daily Mail there is a reason that Kanye has not been around, and it has nothing to do with avoiding his parental duties. Kanye's reasoning, they say, for not being in America has nothing to do with his children and has everything to do with multiple lawsuits that he's facing in the States. Indeed, West has been globetrotting with his wife Bianca Sensory, traveling from Tuscany in May to Paris, then controversially to Russia in June, even as his legal troubles accumulated. Now, West was pictured at a family party in Los Angeles in August, and then a few days later, driving in a Tesla Cybertruck past a Donald Trump rally in Beverly Hills. He's now reportedly living in Tokyo, and last week he celebrated his wife's 30th birthday alongside her parents on a rooftop restaurant in Dubai. The familial scene was a far cry from the hedonistic spectacle the couple hosted in the Maldives on January the 5th. Videos posted to social media showed Sensory writhing on the dance floor. Not writhing. Her legs wrapped around her husband's waist as he planted his face in her bosom. These antics no longer shock, but West's choice of such far-flung destinations, some as distant from the U.S. and West children as is earthly possible, are raising questions over the past few months that he's been gone and absent from America. With all of this stuff with Diddy, Kanye is terrified. This is what an insider says. Disgraced media mogul Sean Diddy Combs is currently in federal custody, facing a litany of charges, including trafficking, related drug-fueled freak-off orgies. Okay, it was in June, just when West began spending more time abroad, that he was then named himself in an ongoing wrongful termination and sexual harassment lawsuit by his former assistant and Sensory lookalike, Lauren Pisciotti. Y'all remember that? Now remember, Kanye said he was going to sue her. I'm still waiting for him to file the lawsuit because I don't think that he ever did. Now, Pisciotti claimed that West has subjected her to repeated incidents of harassment when she worked for him from 2021 to 2022, and then he fired her after she refused to sleep with him. Now, of course, he denied the allegations. Then in an updated filing in October, Pisciotti added a raft of new accusations. She alleged that she was sexually assaulted by West sometime before she began working for him in 2021. Now, I have questions about that because my thing is, why didn't she put that in the initial report? That would seem to me to have been more important and more detrimental for him than the things that she showed that were in the text messages shared between the two. Now, Pisciotti claimed the incident occurred during a party at a Santa Monica recording studio where Combs was allegedly present. She claims that she was told to either drink or leave, okay? And beverages were poured out at the direction of West where they were served. And after drinking, she allegedly slipped into an altered and highly impaired state. Now, only years later, Pisciotti says did West suggest to her that they had sexual relations that evening. Pisciotti also alleged that as West's personal assistant, she was tasked with organizing orgies, mind you, and was asked to recruit sex workers and procure a supply of sexual enhancement products that West allegedly called his sex honey. Now, Pisciotti's attorney, Mark Curini, said in the filings in November that West had been out of the country and he accused the rapper of evading service, of the subpoena, trying to stall the lawsuit. Now, West's lawyers have denied all of these allegations as well and did not respond to the Daily Mail's request to respond in this reporting. So in June, Kanye West's lawyers said that they are preparing a countersuit against Pisciotti. Sources tell the Mail that despite maintaining his innocence, West fears being dragged into litigation, perhaps as a witness around the Diddy case. So thinking that maybe he'll be called in, and he just might. So after all, Kanye and Diddy were once fast friends. So Diddy once credited Kanye with helping to rekindle his love with hip hop, and over the years, they've publicly partied together, including at Diddy's lavish, star-studded 50th birthday party held at a Beverly Hills mansion in 2019. Now, in 2022, West presented Diddy with a Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. He said at that time that, "I go to him for advice to this day. He inspired so many of my choices." Maybe that's why Kanye makes poor choices. Okay, please pay attention. If he's listening to Diddy, how could he go right? Okay, make it all make sense. Now, the friendship crumbled later that year in October. However, when West wore a t-shirt branded with the slogan "White Lives Matter" in apparent mockery of the Black Lives Matter movement, Diddy called the stunt tone deaf, and the pair had a furious argument over text that Kanye later shared on his Instagram. "I told you this was war." This is what West told Diddy in the exchange. "Now go on and get you some business." The pair have reportedly been feuding ever since. And the Pisciotti suit is not the only legal worry that Kanye West is facing. In October, an anonymous former staff member hired to work on Kanye's hapless 2024 presidential campaign claimed Kanye had threatened to kill him. A former America's Next Top Model contestant, Jennifer, alleged in a lawsuit lodged in November that West choked her in a pornographic way on the set of a music video back in 2010. And there's another legal action brought by the former project manager of West Malibu home in 2023, alleging, amongst other things, that Kanye withheld payment and violated labor rules. Now, with all of these allegations waiting, it may not be surprising that Kanye seems to be avoiding America, even at the cost of spending time with his children. They say Kanye loves his children more than life itself and has said this many times. He speaks to them on FaceTime whenever available, or very often when available. North is a daddy's little girl. Now, West maintains his innocence, of course, but this is what he's keeping out of the country for, according to the Insider. Okay, but as the suits continue to progress and his children likely grapple with the trauma of living in fire-ravaged Los Angeles, West may soon have no choice but to return to face the music. Okay, so honey, it sounds like Kanye's pulled a Russell Simmons as far as I'm concerned. He's up out of here, okay, and he's not the only one. Okay, there are several others that are gone already, and they're blaming it on Trump being the president. Now, of course, Kanye couldn't say that because we all remember when he was dead on for Trump, okay, vouching for him and endorsing him even. All right, and so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, he did end up meeting up with his children in Japan. So let's get into it. Before I get into that, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all been said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Giggle says, these people think because they're millionaires and billionaires that they're invincible. Delusions of grandeur. Shaking my head. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Lock Queen Candy J says, did Leonardo ever come back? I think he did. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it. Because he was supposed to have been on vacation in Italy. I don't know. Maybe it's an extended vacation. I have to look into that. That's a good question, beloved. Okay. Kanye West reunites with his 3 youngest kids in Japan as Kim Kardashian evacuates to LA due to LA wildfires. So apparently the kids were flown out to him. Now, Kanye West was recently spotted enjoying quality time with his kids in Japan as Kim evacuated due to the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The controversial rapper, known for his globe-trotting lifestyle with wife Bianca Censori, was seen at a 7-Eleven in Tokyo's Ginza district with Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, the 3 youngest of his 4 children whom he shares with Kardashian. The reunion comes after nearly 4 months of separation. Now, in a photo from the outing, West kept a low profile in a black hoodie, sweatpants, and sneakers, while his kids sported similar outfits. The group carried plastic bags filled with snacks and treats from the store. Notably absent from the outing, was West's oldest daughter, North, and Sensory. It's unclear if the preteen joined her siblings on the trip. All right, and so they say eyewitnesses noted that the father of 4 arrived with his bodyguards in tow and politely declined selfie requests from fans. A black van pulled out the front, and all of a sudden the kids have gone running in, and Kanye followed behind, trying to hide in the 7-Eleven with his hood up. This is what an onlooker said, noting that the family spent about 10 minutes picking out snacks, saying the kids were buying up the store. They had 2 carrier bags full of random lollipops and snacks. Myself and a couple of other families noticed them. West and Sensory have embraced a nomadic lifestyle as of late, hopping between cities across Asia and the Middle East over the past 6 months. Kanye is definitely hiding out. Kanye is definitely, I mean, it just sounds like definitely it's giving Russell Simmons vibes. Okay, please pay attention. Now, the Yeezy founder was married to Kardashian from 2014 until their divorce was finalized in 2022. The outing comes after Kardashian and her famous family, including Kourtney Kardashian and Khloe, Rob Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, and Kris, all evacuated their homes as wildfires swept through Los Angeles. Despite the chaos, the Kardashian clan found a way to give back by donating meals from their favorite Armenian restaurant, Carousel, to multiple fire stations across the city. It said, my family and I wanted to feed a few firehouses today, and we couldn't think of a better restaurant to reach out to than at Carousel Restaurant. This is what Khloe wrote in her Instagram story. Our favorite Armenian restaurant. They whipped up hundreds of individual meals for so many firefighters, volunteers, and first responders, and we could not be more thankful. Thank you for putting your lives on the line for all of us. So Kim's $60 million Hidden Hills mansion, where she lives with her 4 kids, was spared from the fires, but her newly purchased $70 million Malibu estate was in the evacuation zone. Fortunately, photos obtained by Page 6 confirmed the beachfront property remains undamaged as of Friday morning, January 10th. Let me just tell you guys something. I want you all to pay attention. Now, just that tidbit of information, did anyone notice anything about that information? Did anyone notice that information that I just read about Kim Kardashian's mansions? I want you all to pay attention. While these people are out here saying, oh, they're burning evidence, they're burning it down to hide evidence. Some of these mansions were just purchased. Kanye West just purchased that $35 million mansion in October. Kim Kardashian just recently purchased a $70 million mansion. Okay, that's right there in the evacuated zone. So I want y'all to pay attention to how it's not plausible, nor is it sensible for people to have been setting their homes, millions of dollars worth of homes, on fire, no less, to burn evidence. Okay, I need y'all to pay attention. All right, I keep telling you these fools are out here spreading foolishness because they're stuck. They're trapped. Okay, they're caught in a web of deceit because they're following the Q algorithm. Okay, please pay attention. Please pay attention. Now, pilot J Dub says 2027 FBI are releasing recordings of Martin Luther King allegedly having affairs on his wife. They are doing everything to destroy our image further. We have one Trump card left, our Israelite blood. Beloved, with all due respect, thank you for that tidbit of information, but that has absolutely nothing to do with what the Queen is talking about. Okay? And here's the thing. What you need to realize is when these people come out and disparage people who look like me and they put them on blast and take them down, well, you have to understand and realize and just accept the fact that these people, in many of the cases, most of the cases, have given them the tools to do so. You see, somebody can besmudge your reputation with evidence if there is no evidence. They have Dr. Martin Luther King on recordings. They wouldn't have had him on recordings had he not been doing those things. Now, with all due respect, shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King, may he rest in peace forever, for the things that he did. But let's not act like he didn't have a lust for white women. Let's not act like that, because the recordings are there. And here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention. Now that you brought this up, I'm not trying to get off track, but let me just make this clear for those in the back. Dr. Martin Luther King was compromised. And I believe that the reason he fought so diligently against segregation is because of his desire to sleep with white women. That's why many of them fought for it. Okay? Because if somebody didn't want me in their spaces and places, honey, I wouldn't have been fighting. I'd have been running in the opposite direction, because if you don't want to deal with me, well, damn it, I don't want to deal with you. And as you can see, the whole civil rights movement brought Black people to ruin. Even until this day, we are still living in the remnants of the burnt down house that Dr. King himself said he led his people into. Please pay attention. Okay, please pay attention. Because at the end of the day, had he not been chasing these white women, maybe he would have just been fine with segregation. You see, during segregation, Black businesses were thriving because Black people were only allowed to shop in Black businesses. They were not wanted in the Caucasian-owned businesses. Now, some of them allowed them in there, but they weren't respected when they came, which further made them continue to stay in their own community. But once segregation ended and the Jim Crow era was supposedly done, because I still think that we still live in a sort of Jim Crow era. They've just changed it around so we don't recognize it unless we have our third eye open. But at the end of the day, once segregation ended, those Black businesses, many of them just closed down. Because some foolish Black people felt like the white man's ice was colder. And that's on facts. So I would need y'all to please pay attention. I'm going to need y'all to please pay attention. Eyes Wide Open says, don't think burning evidence. They want the land. America has been known for stealing land and displacing people for hundreds of years. Nothing new. These millionaires are nothing to billionaires. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, beloved. They didn't burn this down either so they could take a land grab. Because if that were the case, they would have just burnt down the Black people's area in Altadena. They're not going to burn down billions of dollars worth of homes because they want land. You think they're going to burn down those white rich people's land, their homes, so they can take their land? When do white people take land from other white people? They've only through history taken land from us. So that makes no sense either, beloved. And here's the thing. The governor, Gavin Newsom, as Trump calls him, he signed an executive order just days ago so they could start rebuilding quickly. Okay, so you mean to tell me they burned down the houses so they could rebuild them? That's not what it is. It's God's judgment. I keep telling you people, stop with the nonsensical thinking. Okay, Queen, tell the Black truth, says Lisa. Thank you, beloved, and thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, now some people just don't want to hear the truth or recognize it when it's given. I'm telling you that they did not burn that down for no land grab. See, here's the funny thing. I keep telling y'all that the devil mixes lies with truth to confuse you, that the devil keeps doing all these different things and putting out chaos because he's the author of chaos and confusion. And that's why people are online saying, oh, they're hiding evidence. Oh, it's a land grab. Oh, it's for smart cities. They already have contractual agreements in the makings to have smart cities out there in Arizona. Okay? Out there close to the desert. You think with them saying that the sea level is rising, they want to put smart cities in California. And if they do, they're going to burn down millions of dollars worth of homes to do so. How does that make sense? Do you all know what you're talking about? I don't think so. Because even if they did want to put or do want to put smart cities in California, they do not, I repeat, they do not have to burn down millions and billions of dollars worth of homes to do so. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Pensilola says smart cities in UK already, and that's what I'm talking about. They don't have to burn down anything to put up smart cities. Y'all are listening to that because Sloan Bella said it. Sloan Bella is a psychic, okay? Psychics aren't always right. Please pay attention. And since when has Sloan Bella been prophesying her, world catastrophic events? Sloan Bella is good at telling us about celebrity gossip. That's what she's good at, because she talks to those spirits. Okay? I don't talk to spirits. I talk to the Most High. That's who I talk to. And the Most High showed me in a dream what exactly is going on. Now, I'm not really a psychic, and the Most High told me to stop calling myself that. I'm a prophet. Okay? That's why I know about world events. Okay? Let's not forget, just days ago on January the 1st, I predicted the huge earthquake that was going to happen in Asia, and then days later it did. Okay, Sloan Bella doing anything like that? No, she's telling us about Diddy and JayZ and Justin Bieber. Please pay attention. There's a difference. There is a difference. Okay? There is a big difference, is all I'm saying. Now, I'm done explaining that. I've said it a myriad of times. Y'all believe what you want at the end of the day. But I know better. I know how to read the algorithm. Okay? And I observe it. I don't participate in it. But that's what a lot of you are doing, because you're in low states of vibration. You have not elevated your consciousness. And I understand that. So let me continue. Now, it goes on to say, fortunately, photos obtained by Page 6 confirm the beachfront property remains undamaged as of Friday morning, January the 10th. Okay, so Kanye is hiding out in Tokyo, Japan, traveling the world, globe-trotting, they call it, literally. And he has met up with his children while there. Now, let's talk about Diddy. Because I told you guys, remember that you heard it here first. I told you guys about 2 or 3 weeks ago that there was a story that came out. Let me just show it on the screen for those of you who missed it. That there was a story that came out that Diddy was being offered a deal. And I'm bringing that back up now for a reason. See this reported by The Source. It was also reported by Newsbreak. Diddy faces pressure to cooperate with feds or with prosecutors in exchange for bond. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up again is because I want y'all to remember. See, I know that people on the internet tend to have short-term memory. That's why you'll catch me repeating myself, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to program it into your heads. Okay, so you remember that I told you this later on. Okay? So, I told you guys before that story came out, I told you last year that they don't have anything on Diddy. I told you guys that one of the agents reportedly, allegedly, according to the New York Post, told them that they had video footage of Diddy and other people having sexual relations. They had footage of this. But the agent told the New York Post that they couldn't tell whether or not it was consensual. I told you guys, if they couldn't tell whether or not it was consensual, that means it was consensual. Because these people that are saying it wasn't consensual, these accusers are saying they were drugged. And if someone's drugged and someone's taking advantage of them, when you watch a video of that, you can tell that it's unconsensual, that it's non-consensual, because the person would just be lying there limp if they've been given GHB, okay? Or if they've been given something else to make them pass out and be unconscious. You'd be able to tell that because their body would be motionless. There would be no response coming from them. But if they couldn't tell if it was consensual or not, that means that the people in the video were participating in it. That's what I want y'all to pay attention to. And I also told you that they have not been giving Diddy a bond. Remember, you heard this here first. I'm going to say it again because I told y'all this last year. I told you guys, and once in the chat, if you all remember me telling you this, I said the reason they're not giving Diddy a bail is because Diddy has the footage that they want. They have the footage that they found in Diddy's house which was likely people having consensual goings-on. I said they don't have the other footage because Diddy likely has it somewhere and has a kill switch on it. So if anything happens to him, that it's released by his lawyer or someone. Remember I told you all that? Okay, y'all are putting ones in the chat, so clearly you remember. And so now when they come out saying that Diddy's being pressured to cooperate with the prosecutors, if the prosecutors had an airtight case, why would they need Diddy to cooperate? And then here's what they're saying. I want you all to pay attention because I told you all this already too. You see, when you have critical thinking skills and you have intuition, you don't have to make up stories. Okay? You don't have to fabricate headlines. You don't have to tell lies. You don't have to do any of that to get the point across. Now, 2 weeks after his latest denial of bond, embattled Bad Boy Entertainment CEO Sean Diddy Combs finds himself at the center of a legal storm that shows no sign of quieting. Facing mounting pressure from prosecutors, insiders now claim Diddy has been offered a chance at freedom. I want y'all to pay attention. Remember, you heard it here first. Okay, I told you all this weeks ago, but at a cost that could send shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. According to reports from celebrity insider Janet Charlton, prosecutors are pushing Diddy to reveal the full extent of those allegedly involved in his rumored misdeeds. Sources suggest that authorities cast a wide net, demanding details on celebrities, athletes, studio heads, agents, and powerful business figures who may have played a role in his illegal empire. Now, that all being said, now that we've cleared that up, here's the thing. I already told you this, but I also told you that it's not that they want him to cooperate and give them the names. That's just what they're putting out for public consumption. Do you guys remember me telling you that? I said that's the narrative that they're putting out for public consumption, that they want Diddy to cooperate with the prosecutors to give the names. No, they want Diddy to cooperate to get the damn tapes. That's what I've been telling y'all all along. And that's why Diddy's never getting bail while he's in there. And I also told you how they're trying to break him. They're thinking the longer he sits there, he's going to crack. He's going to tell us where it is. And then, some people may think that, well, he'll come out and tell them because of his family. He doesn't want them to get involved. Because I told you also they could lock his mother up for having things in her name for Diddy. If his method for acquiring his money was by ill-gotten gains. Because you get paid for trafficking, don't you? When you have a whole RICO enterprise, you have money laundering and other things going on, right? So they could easily say Janice Combs was a participant and lock her ass up. And I told you that last year. I could pull the video, did a whole video about it. So with that all being said, one could say, well, why doesn't he just go ahead and cooperate before they lock up his mother or his sons? Because they also said his son Justin was going out recruiting young girls for him. They already have accused King Combs of assaulting Grace Omar Cake. So one would think that maybe Diddy would just go ahead and talk to the feds and give them the footage so that they can destroy it, because they're not going to use it to prosecute these people, these big time people like Clive Davis, if he's allegedly on there, Ronald Burkle, okay, other people, Lucian Grange. If any of those people are on there, I've told you, they're not going to prosecute them. They want the footage to destroy it, to protect them. And this is my opinion. I'm speculating. I can't prove any of it. But that's what I believe, because isn't that what happened in Jeffrey Epstein's case? Have we ever heard of any of Jeffrey Epstein's clients being prosecuted? Well, we know he had clients, right? Because he was convicted of trafficking. And so was Ghislaine Maxwell. So if you're trafficking humans, then that means that somebody's coming to you to pay for these humans. Who was paying for them? We still don't know. They confiscated boxes and boxes of footage from Jeffrey Epstein's house with videotapes. We've never seen or heard anything else about those tapes. Same thing with Diddy. And why? Because those tapes were likely destroyed. And Jeffrey Epstein, when he started running his mouth and giving up names, he turned up dead. They said the judge had 100 names given by Epstein, and those names were sealed after his death. Why? Because you have a right, according to the 6th Amendment, to face your accuser. If the accuser is dead, there's nobody to face. So now we can just take this evidence and seal it. You see? So do you really think they want the names of these people from Diddy? No, they want those tapes from Diddy. Okay? Pensalola said the Most High purifying the land. Absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. Okay? And this is all written in the scripture, which is why I don't understand why people just don't get it. People believe what they want to believe, though. That's what that is. And thank you, beloved, for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings, and your insight into the topic, Pensalola. Lisa says it's truly about who they can protect. Right, exactly. And there are certain people that they absolutely 100%, in my opinion, want to protect. Okay? Some of the people on Diddy's footage are likely some of the same people who were on Epstein's footage. They're likely some of the same customers that Epstein had. Okay? Now, with that all being said, thank you, Lisa, for your contribution to the channel and your insight into the topic, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. I mean, I just want you all to pay attention because we all need to be using critical thinking skills. Now, Easy says Diddy got a dossier on a lot of folks. Turn it over and get released from jail. Well, not the dossier. They want him to turn over the footage. But yes, they want him to turn over the footage and he would get released. I'm pretty sure. Okay? I'm pretty sure he would get released because then they could easily, and what have I been telling you all from day one? Somebody put in the chat what I have been telling you all from day one. I'm going to give you a hint. I have been telling you all from day one that Diddy was going to use the videotapes, the footage, to barter for blank. What did I say he was bartering for? He's going to use those tapes to barter for something. And what did I say he was going to barter for? Now, as much as I've said it, as many times as I've said it, somebody should know. Somebody should know. Okay? Put it in the chat. Solidworth says crooked government. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. So with that all being said, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Let's continue. Let us continue, beloveds. Okay, so hold on. Thank you, Giggles. I just got your email. Okay, I just got your email, beloved. Hold on for just a second. Oh, you sent me the link too. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna have to look for it. Okay. Okay, here it is. Now, beloved, thank you for sending me this. Thank you for sending me this. You know, this person that you're talking about, I have long said that this person has some type of relationship with Diddy. I'm going to play this audio. Thank you, Giggles. Shout out to you for sending me this, beloved. But I had long been saying something was up with her with Diddy because she also was good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, just days ago, I showed you how her house, which is the Eye of Horus, is very similar to the top of what's structured at the top of Jeffrey Epstein's temple, which is still standing, by the way. And remember, because I told you guys, I said, first of all, if they're destroying evidence, why haven't they destroyed that? Jeffrey Epstein's temple is still standing. Why didn't they burn Jeffrey Epstein's island? Okay, if they had stuff to hide or if they were trying to destroy evidence. Okay, so I'm going to go, you said to the 31-minute mark. Okay. Thank you, beloved. Good work. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to put my overlay on here first because I don't have permission to use this video. I don't know exactly what this is, but Giggle sent it to me. It's something about Naomi Campbell. And you all should know, because I told you many times, and I in fact did a whole video on Naomi Campbell and her nefariousness about 3 years ago. And that's when I was talking about her and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I'm going to put this overlay on here. Okay, here we go.
Two things. Two things then, Nancy. So to answer the question, JayZ is speaking out now, not because he saw the light or he's been a good guy. He was named in a lawsuit. And so he is responding to that lawsuit. He's known about these rumors for a really long time. Also too, let's be honest, JayZ knows what happens. Him and Diddy were there. They know what happens. And so the only reason JayZ is talking is because he has been named. Second question, Nancy, was about, remind me, forgive me.
Shooter, the mystery female celebrity. You
That's
know
why I
who
forgot
it
it.
is. You know who you think it is.
That's why I forgot it. I don't want to talk about this one. There's rumors. I think I know who it is. It's somebody that is very close to Diddy. This is not a random celebrity. This isn't somebody that stumbled into a party. This is someone that's a friend, someone that considers him a brother, somebody that wants to protect him. I said enough.
Okay, I'm not getting it out of you today, but I guarantee you, Shooter, I will get it out of you.
Okay, so I'm going to play a bit more of this. I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I want to hear some more of this. It's interesting. Hold on. Let me just go back a little bit. Okay, here we go.
To Kayla Brantley, investigative reporter with DailyMail.com and star of the Trial of Diddy podcast. Kayla, I also hear JayZ, aka Sean Carter, claiming that conspiracy theorists have something to do with this then 13-year-old girl's claim against him.
Not only did JayZ emphatically deny these allegations, he really came out swinging against the lawyer, Tony Busby, who's representing over 100 alleged victims of Sean Diddy Combs. He called him an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. He said that these allegations were heinous and said that it was actually blackmail. So conspiracy theorists, sure, but he's saying anything that he can to really discredit these allegations.
Dr. Bethany Marshall joining me, renowned psychoanalyst, joining us out of LA, author of Deal Breaker, and you can see her on Peacock now. Dr. Bethany, when I start hearing about conspiracy theories, I tune out. Remember when O.J. Simpson said there was a big conspiracy to frame him, like the LA cops are going to get together and frame a beloved football star? Yeah, that didn't happen. So when you hear conspiracy thrown out there, it immediately makes the speaker lose credibility.
Just like, what was it, Code of Honor makes him lose credibility because people who do heinous things turn the act into its opposite. So Code of Silence gets turned into Code of Honor. Nancy, so JayZ's response is so aggressive. He's tearing down the attorney. He's defending his own family. He's talking about his children. He's trying to expose the victim. I couldn't help but think, what if I was a 13-year-old girl and I felt this kind of aggression when I was drugged? I think that's what's going to be in the mind of the public. Like, JayZ is being so aggressive. What else is he capable of? And Nancy, women don't realize that when they marry somebody, they marry their crimes. They marry the other person's crimes. Sure, they may not end up in jail like the other person, but they're going to end up paying for an attorney, losing friends, losing their credibility. Women sign tax returns all the time with their partners, and without knowing that the partner is in millions of dollars of debt to the IRS. So that's kind of what I think about this, Nancy.
Okay, are you trying to say that Beyonce married into a whole heap of trouble?
Yes, I am. I'm not sure that she knew about it. Women blind themselves to that, Nancy. I'm writing a book about love fraud right now. And what I'm seeing is that women who marry...
Find something to write.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Getting started.
Job shooter, and I don't think I'm doing a very good job at it. What you want in my teen may not be what you want later.
Nancy, it's true. JayZ was rich, famous, and a producer, and she was 19 on her way up. He employed the most common offending pattern or grooming pattern. If the allegations are true, I have no idea, but the offending pattern is, hey, I'm rich and famous, and I can make you rich and famous too. Okay. So I call that grooming.
Okay, this is what I know. All I'm hearing right now is a blah 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 blah. But I know this. This is what I know. That when Beyonce's sister Solange attacked JayZ, they just stood there and went, go, use your foot, girl, go, go, go. It didn't bother her at all. Now, that's my friend Harvey Levin over at TMZ. So we can talk to, we're all blue in the face. But to me, that video says it all. Lynn Shaw, somehow I've gotten into the marriage of JayZ and Beyonce. Can we just bring it back to the 13-year-old little girl?
We can bring it back, Nancy, but I have to weigh in. Let's get real. I'm a New Yorker. This was always, we heard, a business arrangement. He was such a powerful man. She was young.
Well, then where did those 3 children come from?
Well, that's another program, Nancy, if you want my thoughts on that, because I've heard a lot of different versions of where they actually came from. So I'm just going to leave it at that so we can talk about the 13-year-old.
That sounds like another conspiracy theory. I'm not buying into where the children. Do not even put the words
Nancy,
Blue Ivy in your mouth. Okay, don't.
I didn't, but Nancy, let me tell you something. Think about this, everybody. Conspiracy usually proves to be true. Think about all the conspiracies we've heard about when people throw that word out there. It usually turns out to be true. And I'm going to leave that for a minute. I'm going to get to this 13-year-old. First of all, very disturbing. This vehement, whatever this statement is that he put out, JayZ, you know what it did not include? It was very aggressive, as we've pointed out. He never actually said, I did not touch a 13-year-old. I did not touch a little girl. I am the father to, a young girl.
Let me stop right there for a second. Didn't I tell you guys that? Didn't I say exactly that? I said JayZ's coming out here going in hard in the paint on Tony Buzbee and the accuser, but why didn't he just adamantly deny it? I said if that had been me and I didn't do anything, I would have adamantly denied those accusations. But instead, he went on the attack, which to me is a sign of guilt. Okay? To me, that's a sign of guilt. He did not flat out deny it. And I've told you guys that a myriad of times. But let's keep listening because this is juicy.
He said a lot of things, but he did not actually deny this if you read through that. So I have a problem with that. I also have a problem with a little 13-year-old signed an NDA. A child cannot sign an NDA. But here's what we need. We need proof. We can talk till we're blue in the face, scream and yell. We need proof. I want to know, where's that limo driver?
Didn't I ask you all where was the limo driver? Didn't I tell you guys? I said, didn't I tell you that a 13-year-old cannot sign an NDA? It's not valid. That you have to be at least 18. A minor cannot sign an NDA and expect for it to be valid. Okay? They can sign it, but it won't be valid. That's all I'm saying. But let's keep listening.
That supposedly dropped her off at this White House with the circular drive. Can't we trace back records to who his driver was? Rob Shooter, weigh in. You've been in New York a long time too. Like there's been so many stories about JayZ, Diddy, this and that. And let me tell you, a code of silence, code of honor, whatever you call it, it's called don't talk. So why is, that's in New York. I'm a New Yorker again. Why is JayZ talking out like this? Why is he opening his mouth at?
Let me pause for just a second. Okay, so Measure Man says, Queen, hey Queen, just rising. We need your help. Can't even email. If Fat Boo is in here, she knows. Your brothers and sisters need all of our help immediately. Spiritual warfare. Well, we absolutely are in spiritual warfare, beloved. Okay. My email is in the chat, so send me an email. Okay. And thank you for your contribution to the channel and your insight to the topic. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay. Measure Man says, Queen, you are the bomb. Thank you, beloved. Okay. Odd Negroes Official said, this lady watched the Queen. She may have, beloved. She may have. I told y'all they have me shadow banned, so they'll never show my true amount of followers, subscribers, or views. But you all know that I have said things before, and then days later, it was on the news, the mainstream news. So please pay attention. I mean, everybody copies the Queen talking points. Not everybody, but y'all know what I'm saying. Okay, so with that all being said, let's continue, because I want to hear the rest of this. Pretty interesting.
at all. That's my take on the whole thing. We have to get back to the victim, the survivors. I'm the first one that always supports them. But if we are to go to court and prove all of this, we cannot do a disservice to the real victims, the real survivors, if we can't get this case into court and hold them accountable.
Okay, Rob Shooter, number one, answer her question. And number two, you think you know who the female mystery celebrity is, don't you?
Two things then, Nancy. So to answer the question, JayZ is speaking out now, not because he saw the light or he's been a good...
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. Now, here's the thing. And again, Giggles, thank you for sending me that, because I had not seen it. I don't really watch Nancy Grace, but let me say this. So you're thinking, Giggles is thinking that he's talking about Naomi Campbell being the person that was in the room with Diddy and JayZ, allegedly. The person that the 13-year-old, the woman who was 13 at the time, says there was a celebrity beef. See, I don't think it was Naomi Campbell. I mean, she is somebody who came up in my mind when I was trying to figure out who it was, because I was thinking Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell, Mary J. Blige. I was thinking of all four of them. But when I looked at the time span, if it was in November or if it was in 2000, okay, and it would have been in September of 2000, well, to me, that would have definitely been J-Lo. Now, that's just my opinion. It would have been J-Lo because, for one, J-Lo was dating Diddy. They both went to the VMAs together that night. And J-Lo was with him that night. This happened at an after party for the VMAs. Okay? And so with that all being said, J-Lo's been named in several, at least two of these lawsuits that have been filed against Diddy. And third, because Alex Spiro, after I said that I thought it was J-Lo, Alex Spiro came out and pretty much confirmed it as far as I'm concerned, because he said JayZ and Jennifer Lopez were at a different party at the Club Lotus. He mentioned her 3 times in a court filing. He put her name out there for a reason. I think he was purposely doing so. Because I told you guys, J-Lo may have cooperated with Tony Busby and told him what he needed to know, or settled with the victim behind closed doors to keep her name out of it. But it seems to me that Alex Spiro purposely put her name in there to expose her. That's just what I think. I don't think it was Naomi Campbell, even though Naomi Campbell has referred to Diddy as like a brother, and she has been cool with him. And there's pictures that I've showed you, all of them all hugged up at the white parties. And there's also a picture that I showed you guys where he and her both had on those masks. Remember when I talked to you about the video that the guy did, said he went to one of those Illuminati or one of those parties or whatever, and they were trying to get them to do all these different things or whatever, and he left and his friend stayed behind. And he talked about how they wore the mask. I literally showed you a picture of Diddy and Naomi Campbell. She looked like she was sitting on his lap, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, and they were both wearing those same types of masks. So I definitely know about Naomi Campbell. I've been talking about her for years, okay? And specifically with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff as well as Diddy. But in this case of the accusations from the woman who was 13 at the time, from those allegations, I do believe that it was J-Lo. She was there that night with Diddy, okay? Alex Spiro called her name 3 times for a reason. He didn't just put her name out there for nothing. He was putting it out there, telling us without telling us that she was the person in the room. That's just what I believe. But Michael M said the code of silence is you murder. Okay, I find it all interesting. So with that all being said, AFBM keeps talking about Obama being naked on the internet. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, naked on the internet? Is this some pictures of him or something floating around? Tyology says, I see all the, hold on. Tyology says, I see all copycats when they say your punchlines. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, because these bigger platforms, okay, like Tisa Tales, Sean Atwood, okay, they often mimic my talking points, okay, because I have critical thinking skills, unlike them, and I don't have to tell lies and paint narratives. So I absolutely see, and a few other people too, but specifically those two, okay, specifically those two, beloved. Yes, they absolutely do, and they are copycats, okay, please pay attention. Thank you for noticing that. Okay, and you all need to start calling them out on it too. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to start calling them out on it. All right? Because they need to give the queen her credits, all I'm saying. They can at least shout me out. If you're going to mimic my talking points, things that I put together and connected the dots and put the pieces of the puzzle together, shout me out, why don't you? Okay, because I have no problem shouting people out. Because unlike them, I don't like to steal credit from other people, and I don't need to. So with that all being said, be careful of the comments that you're putting in the chats, beloveds. Desmond's telling you guys to be careful because YouTube does delete your comments, and they will shadow ban you, even if you're somebody who's just participating and don't have a channel where you're posting stuff. Okay, Elle says Queen is correct because that could have been a lawsuit by throwing her name in there. Exactly, beloved. Okay, so I want you all to pay attention. That crazy beach Eric said, "Woo, don't nobody want a picture of Obama." Ursula says, "I hope Obama ain't tripping like that." Vince I Am says, "Not a fan of Jenny from the public toilet, especially stealing from Ashanti. She needs to sit down somewhere." She does, but Vince always calls her Jenny from the public toilet, not from the block. Y'all are something else. Okay? Negroes Official says, "Correction, Tisa takes." Okay, and while she's out here bragging about winning awards from the Hollywood Reporter and keeps telling people to look at that article or whatever, little do they know that she's a liar who lies. That's for number one. And when she does have actual receipts, well, she usually has copied them from the queen. Okay, please pay attention. All right, please pay attention. I am so sorry. It's true. Pensacola says Queen is patent now. Okay, so with that all being said, Measure Man said, "Yep, Tisa, Sean, and now Sloan." Y'all are something else. Okay, so listen, with that all being said, I'm about to be, no, I'm not about to go yet. I have a couple of more things to tell you guys. Hold on. I want you all to pay attention. Let me pull this up. Now, I don't know if you all heard about this, but a black cop is accused of trafficking his Caucasian wife while flying to their honeymoon destination. This is an exclusive, all right? Anthony Williams spent his life fighting crime, and now to be accused of a crime so heinous as trafficking his own wife is unfathomable. This is what his attorney, Jasmine Rand, told The Independent. So let's get into it. I'm going to show a picture of him and his wife. They're saying this man is out here trafficking this woman. Please pay attention. That's them. And so now here's what they report. A retired police officer headed to Florida for his honeymoon was falsely accused of human trafficking by a traveler who spotted the ex-cop, who is black, with his new white wife. I want y'all to pay attention, because haven't I covered stuff like this before? Remember the black babysitter who had the two white children in the back of his car? He was their hired babysitter. And the Karen saw them at the grocery store. She followed them to Subway. She then followed them home. Being so nosy, she at one point stopped and questioned him. I think it was in the Walmart parking lot, asking him, whose kids are those? Why do they always think that black people are trafficking their children? This is absolutely crazy. Even my friend from Too Strong, Corey from Too Strong, says that his son, who's albino, they basically a white person called the police on him when he had his son in the car, okay, when his son was younger. And the police pulled him over, saying that they got a call that there was a black person who kidnapped a white kid. I want y'all to pay attention. This happens all the time. Now, why is it that there's always some reason to think that black people are up to something nefarious because they're with a white child? Okay? But let's continue. Now, says that a traveler spotted the ex-cop, who is black, with his new wife, who is white, and believed he was witnessing a crime in progress, according to a bombshell federal lawsuit obtained by The Independent. Now, in September of 2022, newlyweds Anthony Williams and Katisayarana Shloshka, she must be Russian, clearly, okay, were aboard American Airlines Flight 2408 from their hometown of Phoenix, Arizona to Miami when a fellow passenger became suspicious, mind you. I reported the mixed-race couple to the cabin crew. want you all to pay attention. Now, this man is a former police officer who's been fighting crime all his career. So the passenger claimed that Williams, age 63, was transporting Shakur, 34, against her will, an obvious example of racial profiling and abject discrimination. He had no reason to believe that Shakur was in any danger, according to the complaint, which includes a selfie of the happy couple that they took on the flight. The picture I just showed you. Didn't she look like she was complicit, like she was there because she wanted to be? Please pay attention. Okay. Say they took this during the flight of themselves, laughing and enjoying and having a good time. Nevertheless, crew members took the passenger at his word without doing any of their own due diligence because he's white and he said so. That's why, because I'm white and I said so. I said that black man's trafficking that woman against her will. She didn't want to be there. He's making her smile. Probably got a gun pointed at her waist. I don't know how he got the gun on this plane. This is what they do. Now, told law enforcement that Williams was trafficking his own wife. I want y'all to pay attention. Oh, nefarious. Upon landing, our clients were falsely imprisoned by American Airlines employees who escorted them off the plane and were made to wait confused and embarrassed as the other passengers deplaned and walked by them. Can you imagine being so damn embarrassed? You're coming home from your honeymoon, you're having a good time, or you're going on your honeymoon, and then to get handcuffed, put to the side, numerous police and TSA agents around you as other passengers are looking at you like you're whole criminals. Now, Williams and Shakur were then questioned by officers with the Miami-Dade Police Department, leaving the two humiliated, according to the complaint, and the complaint also says the entire interaction was captured on camera. Now, the experience has since caused the two mental pain and suffering, sleeplessness, paranoia, panic attacks, fear, anxiety, and embarrassment. And my neck and my back. I would have thrown that in too, just for good measure. Okay. Now, in a phone interview on Tuesday, Williams told The Independent that he contacted American the next day and was told to file a complaint online, but has never heard back since. Well, of course he haven't, because they know they were dead wrong. Now, he said the episode continues to affect both him and Shakur, who recently had a panic attack while the two were flying to Dubai. Okay, this is all nefarious, but this is what they do to people who look like me. There was nothing in our interaction the entire flight that would be indicative of somebody who was being held against their will, Williams said. We were just two people having a good time. Attorney Jasmine Rand, a noted civil rights crusader who has represented the families of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teen who was shot dead in 2012 by an overeager neighborhood watch captain, okay, and George Floyd, an unarmed black man strangled to death in 2020 by Minneapolis police, filed a suit on behalf of Williams and Shakur, saying, my client is a retired police officer. He spent his life fighting crime, and now to be accused of a crime so heinous as trafficking his own wife is unfathomable. He is committed to fighting for justice for himself and for others who have suffered racial discrimination at the hands of American Airlines. An American Airlines spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment on Tuesday. Here's the thing. Now, you should ask yourselves, when this person reported this incident to the cabin crew, of which they were completely wrong, mind you, why didn't the cabin crew, if they had need for concern, walk over to the woman and say, ma'am, are you okay? Are you here against your will? Is he holding you hostage? We have a report that someone thinks that you're being trafficked. And we just want to know, do you need assistance? Are you in distress? Why did they just do something like that if they were even going to listen to this fool? I want y'all to pay attention. Okay, this reminds me of another incident that happened aboard a plane. Nothing to do with trafficking, but there was a black doctor aboard a flight. Do you all remember this? There was a black doctor aboard a flight. There was a patient in distress. Okay, a person who was in distress, needed medical attention. And there was a black woman, and she told them she was a doctor, but they didn't believe her. So they wouldn't allow her to assist. But they let somebody who was Caucasian, who wasn't a doctor, assist. Do y'all remember that? I mean, they just can't take black people at their word. I guess we just always look suspicious. It seems like we never know what we're talking about. We're always up to something. Think about the black people who went to help and assist during the wildfires just days ago, and they got run up out of there. Nobody wants your help. Get out of here. We know you came to loot and steal. I want y'all to pay attention. In September of 2023, professional guitarist David Ryan Harris, who has played with John Mayer, Dave Matthews, and Mariah Carey, was accused of trafficking his own children on a flight from Atlanta to Los Angeles. I reported on that. Do you all remember? Upon deplaning, Harris and his sons, Truman and Hendrix, were intercepted at the top of the jetway by an American Airlines employee and 4 police officers who had been notified by a flight attendant that called ahead with some sort of concern that his biracial children were not even his own children because they were unresponsive during an interaction with her. American later expressed regret for what happened, saying in a statement, "Our flight attendant in question wanted to make sure that you were aware that they sincerely offer a heartfelt apology to you and your family for their actions and the result that their actions generated." I don't give a damn about apologies. When you do something like that, you're going to have serious consequences, okay? You're not going to just get to give an apology. That's what you're not going to do. Because you're not even sorry. You're just sorry that you got exposed for racism. In January of 2024, 3 Black men who did not know one another, I reported on this too, please pay attention, and were not seated together, were kicked off American Flight 832 from Phoenix to New York City after a white flight attendant complained about their offensive body odor. Okay, according to a lawsuit, the trio subsequently filed. 5 other Black passengers were also removed from the aircraft, according to the men's complaint. The case was later settled in a confidential agreement. American told The Independent at the time that it was committed to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment to all customers. The following month, Pamela, and let me just tell you all this. Sometimes people who don't look like us, Black people, I'm talking to you, sometimes people who don't look like us that are so racist and they don't like us in the first place, they'll just make up lies. Just to have the police interact with you, just to embarrass and shame and humiliate you, just like that little Black child on yesterday, the 11-year-old that they said looked like she fit the description of a car thief who was a grown woman. That's to traumatize and humiliate and embarrass you. Just like a few years ago, there were numerous of Black men, I think it was in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was several Black men, I believe it was Milwaukee, and they talked about how the police stopped them, okay, for different reasons, and gave them cavity searches, okay? Did all sorts of things to them. Well, they did that, and they had done nothing. And they filed lawsuits. But this was done to humiliate them, okay? To emasculate them. That's what that was done. I wanted to humiliate them. That's what it was. I mean, these things have been going on since slavery. Please pay attention. And not to keep bringing up slavery, but I have to make the comparison because that's how long this stuff has been going on. So what I'm saying is nothing's really changed, okay? We had the slave patrols, now we have the police. Now, in a statement, American responded saying, "We strive to ensure that every customer has a positive travel experience, and we take all claims of discrimination very seriously." No, they don't. Isn't this what racist people always say when they get busted and accused of racism? That they absolutely do. American Airlines and its employees have a duty to protect Williams and Shakur from false accusations of criminal misconduct and/or of conduct that could lead passengers to being removed from the aircraft, threatened with arrest, subjected to racial profiling, harassment, discrimination, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, as dictated by federal law. This is what's in the lawsuit. Rand said on Tuesday that American Airlines had no excuse for falsely accusing my client of human trafficking of his own wife. And it is yet another case of clear racial discrimination. Acts of racial discrimination are widespread throughout American Airlines, indicating a clear failure to train its employees and to hold them accountable when they engage in discriminatory misconduct. Absolutely true. Now, the couple is demanding compensatory and punitive damages to be determined in court, plus attorney's fees, as they should. American has 21 days from January the 9th, the date Williams and Shakur's lawsuit was filed, to respond to these nefarious allegations. I want y'all to pay attention. But they want us to think that discrimination is over, that we're in a whole new world. No, we're not. We're still in the same world. And, it's no longer called Jim Crow, but it actually is still Jim Crow. It's Jim Crow 2.0. Because you see, here's the thing. If you remember, they used to have signs on the stores back in the day and on the businesses back in the day that said whites only. They used to have the same signs on the restrooms and on the water fountains, whites only. Now they don't have those signs. Now they have rules and policies that say you can't work here if you have locks in your hair. You can't wear braids. You can't wear afros. You can't wear bantu knots. You can't wear twists. Well, who wears that besides people who look like me? And when people who look like them have those hairstyles, they get hired. We had to come up with the Crown Act just so we can wear our natural hair or wear our hair in its natural state. They will say that if you have bad credit, you can't work here. Because if you have bad credit, that lets us know that you're irresponsible, that you don't pay your bills. And if you're too irresponsible to pay your bills, then we can't expect that you'll come to work and do your job. So we can't hire you. Sorry. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we know that a majority, I'm not going to say a majority, but we know that a lot of Black people have bad credit. A lot of them have bad credit too. But what I'm saying is they'll still get hired. People who look like me won't. People who are felonies that look like them will still get hired. People who have felonies that look like me won't. We got Donald Trump, a whole felon, 34 times convicted. He's in the White House. There's the difference for anybody who was wondering at the end of the day. So please pay attention. Okay, these are just ways to keep you out of jobs. Why the hell do they need to know your credit report when they're hiring you? Why do they need to know that? That should be your private business. Nobody should have to divulge their credit report to anybody for a damn job. And also, if you do have bad credit, that doesn't have a damn thing to do with you coming to work and being responsible at your job. And in fact, it would seem to me that if you have bad credit, you would be more likely to come to work and do your job so you can pay off the debt that you have already accumulated. I just want you all to pay attention, okay? I just want you all to pay attention. This is all nefarious at the end of the day. This is all nefarious. But, you know, these things continue to fester. So when you have people like Kamala Harris coming out telling us that time, her and Tim Scott, oh, America's not a racist country. Since when? Since when? When you have Donald Trump coming out saying, let's make America great again, when is he talking about? Because America was only great before. Okay, please pay attention. America was only great prior to 1619. Right? When the indigenous people were the only ones here, that's the time, really. 1492. Yeah, that's when America was great, before 1492. Because after Columbus came here, it was bullshit. And it's still bullshit. It was only great when the indigenous people were here by themselves. And it was known as Turtle Island. Okay? Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. Sierra says, why do they ask what our race is on applications? Exactly. Why do you need to know my race? If I have the qualifications and the credentials and the experience, that's all you need to be worried about. And let's not forget, beloved, I'm glad you brought that up, because let's not forget that there was another case that I reported on where 2 Black women were denied jobs because of their names. They felt like their names were too urban, basically ghetto. And those 2 women filed a lawsuit. Now, the only reason they found out that that's the reason they weren't hired is because an employee who worked at the company that got fired was upset, and then they exposed it and sent them the emails. Okay? So, and this is why I have a cousin who named her son Chandler. So when he's putting in resumes and applications, when he becomes an adult, he's not discriminated against. Isn't that crazy? This is no different than in the movie Roots when Kunta Kinte was forced to call himself Toby. I want y'all to pay attention. So we can't even walk around here. They already took our native languages and forced us to have this bastard language, which is English, where you cast spells with words, even whether you mean to or not. Okay? Took away our spiritual practices, demonized them, and told us it was witchcraft and dark arts. Some of y'all are still scared to use them and do it. This is all crazy. But anyway, I've went on my rant long enough. Let's continue, because I have one more story, then I'm out of here. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. And I will likely be back later on. Maybe. I'm not going to say I will. But I had some more information that I was going to do. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. Who knows? So let's talk about this children's book author and his nefariousness. These people that have been accused of doing nefarious things to children after writing a whole kids book.
Couple accused of brutal abuse and neglect of 3 children have pleaded guilty. One of them was a children's book author. West 2's Bob Hazen was at the Seminole County Courthouse when the man and his wife were sentenced to prison.
Investigators say this couple viciously beat their children, didn't get them medical care, and barely fed them. They pleaded guilty here today, could have faced more than 100 years in prison, but instead they got a fraction of that. Jennifer Wolfthal walked into court with her lawyer. She's been out on bond since her arrest, but not anymore after going in front of a judge and pleading guilty.
How do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty. Wolfthal is the author of a children's book, but the Seminole County Sheriff's Office arrested her and her husband Joseph in 2021 after hearing the extremely disturbing stories of their 3 adopted kids who were all under 11 years old. They lived at a house in Castleberry. The kids told investigators the Wolfthals abused them for 6 years, beating them to the point of bleeding. The investigation started when one daughter was brought to the hospital unconscious and in complete organ failure. They said their food was a, quote, mixture of bran flakes, cereal, water, and vegetable puree. At night, the parents would pour cold water on them in bed.
They were refused access to a bathroom. The 3 children were found at the time by law enforcement to be in diapers.
Today, after 3 years, both Wolfthals were in court and pleaded guilty to 6 charges. Prosecutors dropped 3 others. The judge gave each a chance to say something.
Is there anything that you want to say before I impose sentence?
Neither had anything to say. They could have faced more than 130 years in prison, but the deal means Jennifer Wolfthal will spend 12 years behind bars. Joseph got 10 years. Neither is allowed to have any kind of contact with the children, who prosecutors say are in much better health now that they're away from the Wolfthals. Covering Seminole County in Sanford, Bob Hazen, West 2 News.
Absolutely deplorable. Absolutely deplorable. And these people had the nerve to write a children's book. Okay? I want y'all to pay attention. All nefarious. All nefarious. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, with that all being said, hold on. One more thing I want to say. Tony Busby. Let's talk about him for just a brief moment. Tony Busby featured in an inspiring blog January the 14th. Tony Busby, nationally acclaimed trial lawyer and founder of the Busby Law Firm, is the focus of a compelling new online blog feature, From the Farm to the Courtroom, How My Rural Roots Shaped My Career in Law. Okay, in the piece, Busby reflects on how in his formative years on the family farm, that laid the groundwork for his success in law. Life on the farm wasn't glamorous, but it was the foundation of everything I've accomplished. The hard work, resilience, and sense of community I experienced growing up taught me lessons that guided me throughout my career. Okay, he delves into key influences on his life, from the values instilled during long days tending crops and animals to his time at Texas A&M University, where he served as battalion commander of the NROTC Midshipman Battalion. It highlights these experiences and how they shaped his leadership, lifestyle, work ethic, and commitment to helping others. Now, I want you all to pay attention, because one of the talking points that one of my copiers copied, because they were all for Alex Spiro and going in on Tony Busby, until I showed you all the trial footage of how Tony Busby gets down in the courtroom. And I told you how he's won awards, and he was like Texas #1 attorney. He got the award in like 2015 or somewhere around there or whatever. And then all of a sudden, now they're Team Tony Busby and going in on Alex Spiro. Please pay attention, okay? I was the one who told you how Alex Spiro had connections to the CIA and how he's done nefarious things, allegedly, to other people that have worked for him, like Bobby Shmurda, who Bobby Shmurda says that Alex Spiro made him take a plea deal. Okay, and how he supposedly ran off and just left Kanye West high and dry when they accused Kanye of hate speech. Okay? At the end of the day, I just want y'all to pay attention, all right? Yes, they copy and mimic the queen because they don't know what else to do. because some people just have a lack of critical thinking skills. If they did, and if they were intuitive and had discernment like the queen, they could come up with all these things themselves. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I'm about to be out of here. OG Patrice said the copycat content creator. Exactly. Okay, exactly. All right. Odd Negroes official says, "Don't worry, Queen. It is as following the leader." Exactly. Thank you, beloved. And shout out to Odd Negroes official, because I keep reminding you guys that it was me and Odd Negroes official who in 2021 agreed that Diddy was going to be exposed by Cassie. We said it here first, okay? We said it years ago. That's because we have discernment, okay? And we're intuitive. I want you all to pay attention. All right, so that all being said, listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Ursula says Tony Busby represents a lot of people. Yes, he absolutely does. Okay, so listen, shout out to everyone who tuned in for this broadcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do your due diligence and make sure that you're still subscribed to the Queen's channel, because I'm here to tell you guys, as I've said days ago, that y'all know I'm already under a shadow ban for all those predictions I gave back in 2020 that came true about the pandemic and the venom. And also, and mind you, I'm the one that named it the venom. Now you have other people calling it the venom, and I'm the one that named it that because remember, I told you the dream I had about the snakes. Okay, the black snake and the white snake that were intertwined, and they looked like they were fighting, and they looked like the medical symbol. That's how I told you guys we're going to have a medical emergency, and I told you all about it. Then days later, I told you there was going to be a venom, and I told you what not to do. So please pay attention. I've been shadow banned since then for that reason, and now that I've started back giving my predictions, which I had stopped for a while, now they're unsubscribing people. I woke up this morning, and I saw like 3 or 4 people unsubscribed. I pay attention to the numbers. Okay, so with that all being said, make sure you do your due diligence. Measure Man said yes, and they turned off the notifications. Exactly. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention. And also, since the other day, when I told you all about the voice of God technology, Aaron Alexis, the Navy Yard shooter, and compared him to those 2 terrorist attacks in Louisiana and Las Vegas. All right. And I also brought it to your attention that it's no coincidence that that man was in a Tesla and then went to the Trump Tower. Hence, Elon and Trump. There is the connection. Okay. So with that all being said, and I also pointed out, let me just say before I go, that how does it make sense that the man's body was supposedly burned to a crisp beyond recognition, but they found his identification that wasn't scorched or burned, and they found his passport that wasn't ashes? I just want y'all to pay attention. With that all being said, how does it make sense? How does it make any sense? Okay, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And also on a more positive note as well. Hold on. Let me get this last comment before I roll up out of here. Jeff ATL says, "You are one of the Most High's children who is prophetic. They hate that." Oh, thank you, beloved. Yes, this is true. And let me just tell you, that reminds me of a conversation I had with my uncle, who's a bishop. I had a conversation with my uncle a few days ago because he too is prophetic. You see, things like this tend to run in the family. My 2 sons are prophetic. Okay. My youngest son, Reno, told me a few years ago that one of our cousins who was sick, one of my first cousins, was sick, and he told me he had a dream that my cousin was lying in bed and there was blood flowing from his head, just running down his face, from his head to his face. The next morning when I woke up, right after he told me that dream, I got a call that said that my cousin had died. He was in the hospital and he died from bleeding on the brain. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention. So it runs in the family, but I had this conversation with my uncle just a few days ago, who's a bishop, like I said, and I want to bring him on for an interview on my spiritual channel, or at least for a members only interview on here. But, he was talking about how people who are prophetic, sometimes you will be a black sheep in the family. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. And when you bring them the truth, you'll be shunned for it. And sometimes they ignore the warnings that you give them because they, out of ignorance, don't want to hear the truth. Because we have said things and warned the family about certain things, and there's certain people in the family who don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it at all. There's even somebody in my family should be very close to me, but they're not. But there's somebody in my family who, when I came out and did that video about the fire being God's judgment and what the Most High showed me in my dream, they called me every day after for about 5 days straight, telling me different excuses for why the fire started. And I told them, do you realize how ridiculous you sound? You keep calling me every other day with a different reason as to why the fire started. It seems like you're trying to debunk what I'm saying. And that's okay, because that's something that you need to deal with for yourself. That's what I told him. You keep calling me saying, oh, they're trying to hide the evidence. Then you call me, oh, it's a land grab. Oh, it's the smart cities. You keep calling me with all these different stories. That's nothing but confusion. And you're trying to make me doubt myself. I don't doubt my prophetic gifts. Okay, at the end of the day, that's what I don't do, because I've never been wrong thus far. That doesn't mean that I won't be wrong, but I'm just saying so far I haven't been. Okay, that's what I haven't been. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to remind you all to pray for Justin Bieber, because I had a premonition of something not so good happening to him, and I told you all that January the 1st. Okay, so Aquarius says, Queen of Receipts, I believe that. Amen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so I love you all to life, and you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Keep your notifications on if you're getting them, so that you know if I go live again. Till next time, beloveds. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got